After war had been declared, Red Cloud said, "There would have been no war if each of you had accepted the responsibility that lay on your individual shoulders. War came because man could not raise his thoughts from the abyss of fear to an acknowledgment of the Godhead that is within him. I said there would be no war because there should have been no war, and to have prophesied otherwise would have been to cast down man's mind to the lowest ebb from which there could have been no return. Mind molds matter, matter does not mold the mind. Man alone must work out his salvation. I can but show the way and bid you keep ever watchful at the door of your mind." As the war got into its stride, my psychic career continued undiminished. In 1941, I married Charles Tilson Chowne. Shortly afterwards, our home was bombed and we moved to Oxford, where I held a number of public meetings and gave many private sittings. We returned to London after 12 months. My work became intensified as the casualty lists grew bigger and more war victims wanted to communicate with those they had left behind. Among these were 4 young men who had died in action. They were David White and Arthur Heath of Royal Navy, and Bill Costello and Clive Wilson of the Royal Air Force. These 4 youngsters, having proved their own survival, were determined to help others to achieve similar success. Because of their dedication to this task, we started a private circle for the direct voice communication. It comprised the parents of the 4 boys and friends and relatives of other spirit communicators who had been able to prove their identities. The sittings were free of payment to all who attended. One of the most distinguished visitors to this circle was Air Chief Marshal Lord Dowding, head of Fighter Command in the Battle of Britain. He first attended in October 1943 at the express invitation of its 4 spirit originators. The séance began by the trumpet tapping out the V sign in Morse code on the floor. Then a girl's voice was heard gaily claiming, "Ladies first," suggesting there was keen competition for possession of the trumpet. She achieved only a few sentences before Clive Wilson's voice was heard talking animatedly to his parents. After a brief exchange, Clive asked, "Please introduce me to the chief." The introduction was effected and Clive said, "I was on reconnaissance when I bought it. I went down in the drink and my body was washed ashore later. But, as you see, I'm still very much alive." "I understand you had a strange nickname in the RAF," Dowding said to him. "Tell me what you were called?" "Big Feet," came the unhesitating reply. "You can check on that. Look, sir, the boys and I want to thank you for passing on spirit messages to where they will do the most good. It's wonderful to be able to help," Dowding replied.